First of all, I'd like to apologize for the noise. I live on a very busy street. You're going to hear cars passing by from time to time over the audio. My purpose for purchasing these clamps was to mount my Insta360 X3 action camera onto my motorcycle. So I bought a couple of clamps and tested them out to see what or how they performed, and I'd like to share that with you. First off, I bought this Camvate, which was the lowest price of them all. It's a very nice, good, sturdy clamp. The only thing I did not like about it was this thing is loose over here, which can cause rattling. It can cause the rattle, which can cause this to loosen, which can cause this to loosen, and then of course it came loose on my motorcycle once. Other places where it can loosen are the bolt that's inside over there can come loose, causing this whole setup to loose. This thing can come loose a little bit, and then which can cause this thing to spin. And then the ball head can also come loose, and even this little pad can come loose. So one time it was my camera was spinning away, and I had to look closely to see just exactly where it was coming loose. You know. Nice little expansion hole over here, and I guess these are regular tripod holes over here. Good for still camera use purposes, like on a tripod or some other camera setup, but not so great on a motorcycle. The next clamp I'd like to talk about is this SmallRig one. Nice and big and sturdy, looks great. Built to last, feels good quality. The things I did not like is this part over here is a little bit long, and I think since it was long, it causes a little bit more vibration because it did come loose one time. This loosened one time, just slightly, so that it caused my camera to come loose. And the gap over here is a little bit bigger, so there are some places on my motorcycle where I cannot stick this clamp, or I cannot mount this clamp. Has nice expansion holes over here and here. I think those are like 3/8 holes. One thing that kind of annoyed me a little bit about this clamp was when I loosen it, notice how it flops around very easily all over the place. You know, it can get a little bit annoying to position something because it's so floppy, but otherwise the ball heads are nice and big, which makes me think they're going to last. And it has a little ridges on the ball head over here, which I guess adds to the friction to hold it in place. Overall, a very good clamp, I would say, but it did come loose once. The one I do like is this Ulanzie clamp, and now in contrast with the SmallRig, when I loosen this, notice it's not flopping around. It's a nice little more of a precision kind of feel to this thing, which I like. Has ridges on the balls over here to make it hold better in place for friction. The gap over here is a little bit smaller, which I think is good. The distance over here is not so big, so I guess there's a little bit less of a vibration for it to come loose. Has a little 3/8 hole here, which I put an adapter to put this in place. Well, that's already in use. Overall, this would be my choice over the SmallRig. I like this. The other clamp I bought to mount my selfie stick on is this double clamp. I put these marks here just to let me know which side is the one that spins. Some double clamps would have like a ball head over here, but I think that would just add to, like, this whole thing is going to be a long setup, and adding a ball head over here with another extra movement area would be too much of a stress, and it might, I guess, bend or move out of position at that place a little bit more, especially on a motorcycle with all the vibration. So the fact that this does not have one, I think, is good. I mean, the fact that this rotates gives me enough positional flexibility to put it anywhere on my motorcycle. No expansion holes on this. Nice and sturdy, looks built to last, much like this one over here. So my choices for motorcycle setup would be these Ulanzie ones. Each of these clamps, well, they're all pretty low in price, so I'm surprised they're priced the way they are, because to me they're all good quality. Very good for still camera or camera rig purposes, but when it comes to something like on a motorcycle, I would say I would stick to the Ulanzie ones.